Adventures in time and space, transcribed in future tense.
Dimension X.
In the beginning, there was Jordan, thinking his lonely thoughts. Out of the loneness came a longing. Out of the longing came a vision. Out of the dream came a planning. And out of the planning came decision. Jordan's hand was lifted, and the ship was born.
You, look out! Are you all right? Yes, it missed me. What was it? A mutant with a slingshot. I think it dashed down that passageway.
You want to go after it?
We'd never catch it, Alan. It's probably 12 decks above us by now.
I didn't think they ever came down this far. Patrols usually get them before they reach this level.
They get more daring with each generation. This one looked like a female.
Male or female, it might have killed us. I told you this trip was pure foolishness. Climbing 24 deck levels to hear a crazy old man rave.
We're almost there now. Compartment X15, level 24. This is the place.
This area smells as if it hadn't been visited by a sanitation crew for generations.
This part of the ship is almost deserted.
Yes?
This is the compartment of John the Witness.
Who are you?
My name is Hugh Hoyland. I'm a cadet from the scientist barracks. This is my friend Alan Mahoney.
What do you want of John the Witness?
Only to talk.
Are you a believer in Jordan?
Naturally.
I have heard that there are those among the younger scientists who doubt the word of Jordan.
To doubt is death. We're not heretics.
Enter.
I have brought a gift of tobacco, grown on the richest level.
It smells good.
I assure you it's the best.
Wait here.
What a rat's nest. What the devil do you think he can tell you?
I don't know. Now, hush.
Well?
You are John the Witness?
I am.
Good eating to you. I am Hugh Hoyland. This is my friend, Alan Mahoney.
What brings a gentleman of the scientist class to my humble apartment?
I have heard that you and your parents before you have long been keepers of the legend of the ship.
Since Jordan gave the word.
I am anxious to hear the word as Jordan spoke it.
Why?
You see, among the young scientists, there have been some who talk against the word.
Regulations against such heresy?
Some of them say the ship has no purpose. They say that we're here accidentally. That we have no more grace in Jordan's eyes than the most deformed mutant who dwells in the highest level of the ship.
What shall I say to you?
I wish to hear the word from the mouth of one who knows, that I may become more convinced.
Sit. You have gift for the witness?
The finest tobacco.
Good. I will dim the light. Now, pay close attention, for these are the words as my father's father's father gave them to his son's son's son. This is how the ship came into being, how our people were created. In the beginning, there was only Jordan, thinking his lonely thoughts. In the beginning, there was darkness, formless and dead. Out of the loneness came a longing. Out of the longing came a vision. Out of the dream came a planning. And out of the planning came decision. Jordan's hand was lifted, and the ship was born. Mile after mile of good compartments, tank after tank for golden corn, ladder and passage, door and locker, fit for the needs of the yet unborn. He looked on his work and found it pleasing, meet for a race that was yet to be. He thought of man, and man came into being. Then Jordan checked his thought and searched for a key. Man untamed would shame his maker. Man unruled would spoil the plan. So Jordan made the regulations. Some to speak and some to listen. Order came to the ranks of men. Crew he created to work at their stations. Scientists to guide the plan. Over them all he created captain, made him judge of the race of man. Thus it was in the golden age.
These are the true words?
As my father's father taught them.
But what of the strange beast-like people on the upper levels of the ship? Surely Jordan did not create them.
Jordan is perfect. All below him lack perfection. You have heard of the legend of Huff?
I have heard that he mutinied against Jordan.
Darkness swallowed the ways of virtue. Sin prevailed upon the ship. And before wisdom prevailed and the bodies of Huff and his followers were fed into the converter, some of the rebels escaped and lived to father the mutants. They are tainted with the sins of their fathers.
One more question, witness.
Speak.
What is the ship?
The ship is a great sphere. 25 kilometers wide and 100 levels deep.
I know that, but what about the upper levels?
The regulations forbid us to venture into the upper levels, but it is said that beyond the levels of the mutants lies the forbidden place where Jordan's spirit prevails.
So I've heard. But something troubles me. Something which prompted my coming here.
Yes, my son.
What lies beyond the ship?
What?
What lies beyond the ship?
This is heresy.
Answer me.
I will not permit such talk. The ship is complete. The ship is universal. The ship is everywhere. The ship is endless.
Your mutterings are those of a frightened old man. They answer nothing.
You question the word?
I think you lie.
Hear me, Mr. Highland. For what you have already said, I can have your body fed to the converter. Your soul launched on the endless trip.
You threaten me.
You, for Jordan's sake.
You think I fear this dried fig of a man?
You. Sir, my friend is impetuous. He doesn't understand.
I might be persuaded to forget a substantial gift.
You pig. You. Come on, Alan. The sight of this so-called holy man offends me.
No, you shall not leave.
Look, don't try to frighten me with a gun, old man.
Remain where you are, heretic.
I warn you, put down the gun.
No. No closer.
Drop it.
Very well, then. Death to the heretic. Alan, get him!
Is he dead?
I don't know. Come on, Hugh. We've got to get out of here. Now where? We can't go back. They'd feed us into the converter. What's that?
The old woman must have turned in an alarm. Come on, the patrol will be here in no time.
Where can we go?
The upper levels.
But the mutant.
We'll have to take our chance. Listen, that's the patrol we've got to climb.
There's a hatchway. Down the corridor.
Quickly.
Halt! Halt, do we fire?
The ladder.
Wait. How far are we from the outside wall?
Judging by the slope of the deck, about 2 miles. Mutant territory. Come on, we'll try this passageway.
Hugh.
What?
I don't know. I feel as if we're being watched.
It's your imagination.
Perhaps not.
Oh! It's only a ship's rat. Get a grip on yourself.
It's as big as a dog.
Come on.
I can't drag myself much further.
We've got to find a compartment with water.
Oh, if only you hadn't asked him that stupid question.
There's no use going over that.
Why did you do it?
Why? Alan, I've been thinking about it for a long time. And when he began to give me those stupid pat answers, well, I just saw red, I guess.
But who are you to question the ways of Jordan? When you asked me to go with you to visit the witness, I thought you wanted spiritual help. I never dreamed
I'm
that
sorry, Alan. I couldn't foresee this. I didn't know it.
Wait a minute.
Now what? Another shipwreck?
No. I thought I saw something move near that bulkhead.
I didn't see anything.
Maybe my eyes are going bad still.
Listen.
You behind? Alan, look out!
Where am I? What are you? Get away from me! Alan! Alan! Look out with that knife! Stay away from me! Alan! Alan!
Don't kill him, Bobo. Not yet.
Who are you?
Must forgive my friend Bobo. Like so many of my people, he's rather impetuous where members of the so-called super race are concerned.
Who are you? What place is this?
As you can guess from my leg, I'm a mutant.
Where is Alan?
Your friend is dead. I was not able to restrain my people in time to save him.
Why don't you destroy me and get it over with?
We do not kill for pleasure, Mr. Hoyland, only when necessary.
You know my name?
I read your identification tag.
Who are you? Mutants can't read.
My name is Gregory. I'm a leader of my people. Although we are unfortunate in our heredity, Mr. Hoyland, many of us are quite intelligent.
Why do you live like animals?
We would rather live like free animals than like regimented slaves, as you do.
I've heard that you practice cannibalism.
Undoubtedly, you hear many things about us. We raise our own cattle on the upper levels, and those of our people who choose to farm raise enough crops for our small population. You turn your head. Why?
This one. I've never seen a creature like him.
Bobo is an unfortunate. He was born without the power of speech.
How can you tolerate a monstrosity?
We have learned to live with difference. If we began to destroy our imperfects as you do on the lower levels, there would soon be no one left.
It violates the regulations. The word of Jordan
You know,
states...
Mr. Hoyland, your people are really primitive and barbaric.
You dare say that to me?
I dare say a good deal more. Let us go to my compartment and speak further. I'm always interested in information of the lower levels.
I won't give you any information.
Bobo, I want Mr. Hoyland in my cabin, please.
Hey.
I advise you to go quietly, Mr. Hoyland. Bobo has a hatred of superior beings, which is unfortunate, but quite understandable. Proceed. Enter, Mr. Hoyland.
This is where you live?
Yes.
But you have books.
Stolen from your libraries, Mr. Hoyland.
Compton's Astrophysics. The Philosophy of Interstellar Navigation. Celestial Mechanics. You have read these?
Most of them.
Why did you bring me here? What do you intend to do?
Do you believe in Jordan, Mr. Hoyland?
There is no other belief.
And the trip? I suppose you believe in the trip, too.
Well, what else is there to believe? When you die, your remains are fed to the converter, and your soul makes the trip.
And where does the trip take you?
Why, to Centaurus, of course.
Huh? And what is Centaurus?
Why, Centaurus, mind you, I'm just telling you the orthodox answer. Centaurus is where you arrive when you've made the trip. A place where everything is happy and everybody's happy and there's always good eating. It's mythological, of course.
And you believe this?
The peasants believe it, literally, but many of the younger scientists like myself know that it's figurative, symbolic. Why do you ask?
Didn't it ever occur to you, Mr. Hoyland, that the trip is exactly what your peasants believe it is? That the ship and all the crew were actually going someplace, moving?
The ship can't go anywhere. It already is everywhere.
Imagine a place bigger than the ship, much bigger, with the ship inside it, moving inside.
But there can't be any place bigger than the ship. There wouldn't
Good
be
morning,
any place
people.
for it to
I'll be right with you. I'm just getting my coffee.
Listen,
Please enjoy the show.
lowest level?
Yes.
If you started digging a hole in the lowest level, where would that hole go?
Where would that... Oh, no. No, it's forbidden to think such a thought.
Where would it go?
No, I can't think about it.
Bobo. Bobo, we're going to take Mr. Hoyland to the place.
Where are we going?
To the top level.
But it's certain death.
Nonsense. I've been there 1,000 times. Come along.
No, I won't. You can't make me.
I think we can. Now, shall we proceed peacefully, or shall I have Bobo persuade you? Open the door, Bobo. Inside.
What place is this?
This, Mr. Hoyland, is the main control room. Why, Mr. Hoyland, you're trembling.
It isn't true. There is no such place except in mythology.
Oh, you younger men are so wise, Mr. Hoyland, except for one thing. This happens to be the main control room of the ship.
But it's nothing but a huge room with an instrument panel.
What did you expect?
How do you know this is the main control room?
See these instruments? Using them, the navigator, many hundreds of years ago, actually steered the ship on its voyage.
I don't understand.
But didn't suppose you would. Your people have been so steeped in superstition and ignorance that the whole concept has lost its meaning. Sit in that chair. Don't be frightened. Sit down.
Very well.
Look up. What do you see?
Nothing but a huge shield.
Watch it for one moment, Mr. Hoyland. You are going to see something that few of us have ever been privileged to witness. Something so dazzling that you may find it hard to accept at first. But it is there. It is a reality. And ultimately you must accept it.
What are you doing?
I'm dimming the lights. Don't be frightened. Keep your eyes focused on the shield above us. Ready? Watch.
The shield. It's sliding back. Ghost of Jordan.
Well?
What am I seeing?
The universe, Mr. Hoyland. The universe in all its beauty. The stars, the planets, the suns, the moons, and the constellations. This is your heritage, Mr. Hoyland. The heritage you've been too stupid to seize.
But it can't be. The ship is the universe. There is nothing but the ship.
Ah, but there it is. You see it before your eyes, spread out like a canopy of glory. You still deny it? Answer me, Mr. Hoyland. Do you deny it?
No, I can't. They lied. They lied to us.
Good.
Why did you close the shield?
You will see it again if you're not afraid.
I'm not afraid.
Many times. I've shown this to others of your people whom we captured, and though they saw it before their very eyes, they would not believe it.
Tell me about it. Tell me about the ship, about the universe. What are these things? How did this come about?
Many thousands of years ago, on a planet like those you've just seen, a planet called Earth, a scientist named Jordan decided to build a ship that would carry men from one planet to another. For many years, Jordan and thousands of others studied and planned. And when they were finished, they built the ship. A ship so large that it had to be assembled in its own orbit beyond the place called the moon. 60 years it took them to construct. And when it was finished, a whole new science had been conceived. Then the trip was begun. The trip that was to land a colony of Earthmen on a far-off planet called Centaurus, millions of light years beyond the furthest planet ever reached before.
How do you know these things?
Among my books are the log which Jordan himself kept, and the records of the journey for the first 40 years.
What happened?
There was a mutiny. A man named Huff led a rebellion of those who wanted to turn back. In the struggle, the navigators were killed, and the crew fell into a state of anarchy. In the years to follow, small groups of men tried to organize the ship for navigation, and each time they failed. Finally, the whole idea was abandoned. And so for centuries, we have swung in space, unmanned, undirected, living in a lost world of our own making, without purpose, without direction.
Why have you told me this? Why have you brought me here? You could have killed me.
Can you guess?
No. No, I can't. Unless... But it would be too fantastic.
Well?
You want to finish the trip. Yes, that's it. What would it take to do it?
A miracle, almost. The crew would have to be trained. Many people, each skilled in a certain duty.
Couldn't you train your own people?
We are too few. Besides, the main drivers in the lower levels where my people are forbidden to go. No. It would mean that both our peoples would have to work together. Our differences encouraged rather than denied.
It can be done. You showed me. You can show others. I can show them.
Can you?
I'll see the captain himself. I have an uncle on the central board. I'll tell him what I've seen here.
And do you think he'll believe you?
Send one of your people with me.
That's asking a good deal.
I'm risking a good deal by going back.
Very well. Bobo will go with you.
He can't talk.
There will be no need for talk. I will write a message guaranteeing safe conduct for a group of unarmed scientists to visit the main control room. Bobo will take you safely through our territory. What happens when you reach your own level is up to you.
One moment. Yes, what you... You.
Quick, Uncle, let us in.
But this mutant...
He's harmless, please.
No. What is this? You're wanted
I know
for...
all about that. Listen, Uncle, I must see the captain.
The captain? Are you mad?
You're a council member. You can get me to see him.
They'll kill you. You're wanted for heresy.
I don't care. I must speak with the captain. You're close to him. You can arrange it.
I don't understand why...
Uncle, listen to me. The ship is moving. I can prove it. Do you understand? There is a purpose in the ship.
I don't understand what you're babbling
Never
about.
mind. Just talk to the captain. Tell him I have information of tremendous importance. Tell him I've arranged a truce with the mutants.
A truce?
Here, show him this paper signed by their leader. Do it, Uncle, for my sake.
I don't know.
Please, Uncle. If I'm to die, let this be my last request to you.
Very well. I'll speak to the captain. I'll try.
Can you say, Mr. Hoyland, that you saw this with your own eyes?
I swear it, Captain. I swear it on the word of Jordan.
Let me see that paper again. What do you think, Commander Erst?
I don't know, sir. It might be a trick.
I guarantee you safe conduct.
If these things are as Mr. Hoyland reports them, it would pay to risk a few lives.
The man is a convicted heretic.
Still, we mustn't discount his word entirely. He has a safe conduct. The mutant risked its life coming with him. I think we might investigate.
You will do it?
I'll have an expedition outfitted. Dismissed, Mr. Hoyland.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Captain, do
Commander Erst.
Sir.
You'll make the necessary arrangements for an expedition. I trust you understand.
Perfectly, sir. Perfectly.
Lieutenant.
Mr. Hoyland.
You'd better halt your men here. This is the spot.
Patrol, halt. I see no welcoming party of mutants.
There will be none. Their leader will meet you inside the main control room.
You don't say. And just where is this main control room?
Beyond that door.
I see. All right, men. Ready arms.
Why do you ready arms?
In case of ambush.
Ambush? Don't you think they could have ambushed you on the way up here a good deal more easily?
You know, Mr. Hoyland, I think you're a mutie lover. They have a place in the converter for that kind.
Lieutenant, are you mad?
No, Mr. Hoyland. But most certainly you are. To think that we could be lured up here to be slaughtered with a fantastic story about some mythical control room.
Guns ready, sir.
Lieutenant, I warn you, these people have acted in good faith. If you break
Call
that faith
your
now...
mutants to open the control room, Mr. Hoyland.
No, not until those guns are dismounted.
As leader of this expedition, I order you to call them.
I refuse. You cannot do this thing. This is no way to keep a truce.
Very well, if you refuse. Oh, there! Mutant! Come out!
For Jordan's sake, Lieutenant.
Too quiet for comfort. Mutant! Open the door!
Please, Jordan, don't let anything happen. Please don't.
It's opening. Ready, men. Someone's coming out.
Look at his leg.
Horrible.
Steady.
He's walking toward us.
Yeah, I can't stand this.
Look out!
Gregory! No! You fools! You've killed him!
Here come the rest of them.
Fire!
That should teach them a lesson they won't forget. All right, men. Inside the room. Orland, you're under arrest as a conspirator in this ambush.
Ambush, you fool, you blind, stupid fool.
That'll be enough. Have you been inside this place before?
Yes.
What's all this machinery?
These are the controls he would have used to steer the ship.
He's gone out of his mind, Lieutenant.
Steer the ship?
Who? The leader. The one you killed.
This ugly mutant?
This ugly mutant happened to be a man of true greatness.
You're mad.
Am I? This man had a vision which could have saved you, but you chose to kill him because you couldn't stand the sight of his difference from you.
I'll not listen to these ravings.
Close your ears. Shut your minds against the conscience that tells you it's wrong to kill. That tells you that your need to be arrogant only proves your inadequacy to yourself.
Shut him up. Don't listen to him, man.
You can't shut your ears. My words sting you. You cannot shut your mind. And you cannot shut your eyes. Don't do this!
The roof. It's moving back.
Look. Let the vision of this confound your ignorance and blind your eyes. This is the heritage you tried to stifle in your own breasts. This is the heritage of stars and open skies for which men have yearned for centuries. Try to destroy this, and you will only destroy yourselves.
Death to the heretic.
Kill me if you choose. But I say to you that this you cannot keep from our people, that they will seek it out, and the ship will be manned, and the ship will be steered, and there will be freedom and purpose and respect for ourselves. This is your heritage. Look upon the universe. Kill him! Kill him! Kill him!
You have just heard another adventure into the unknown world of the future, the world of...
Dimension X.
This has been the concluding broadcast in the current series of Dimension X. If you are interested in the continuation of this series, please write and tell us so. Your ideas and suggestions will be given the most thoughtful consideration in determining the future of this program. Just drop a letter or postcard to Dimension X, care of NBC, Radio City, New York.
Today, Dimension X is transcribed Universe, written for radio by George Lefferts and based on a story by Robert Heinlein. Featured in the cast were Mason Adams as Hugh and Peter Capell as Gregory. Your host was Norman Rose. Music by Bert Berman. Engineer Bill Chambers. Sound created by Manny Siegel, Max Russell, and Wes Conant. Dimension X is produced by William Welch and directed by Edward King. Ed Archie Gardner tangles with Tallulah Bankhead on The Big Show.
Testing 1, 2, check, testing. Fuck it. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, hi, howdy. Hey, hi, how are ya? How's it going there, George Derry? How's it going? I forgot to turn my other camera on here, eh? Let's see if I can get it rocking and rolling there. Oh, there's no tape there, eh? I pulled out the tape because it was finished. There's a Ronald Reagan Western here. So I can stuff that in there to get this thing kicking. It's got a lousy button on it. Hey, and there we are. Good morning, yeah. Sure, with the good morning, and yeah, sure. Put that tape over there. Arg. Well, what's going on? What's up? What did I miss? I got in here late because I got to sleep so late last night. I think I was just crawling onto the sofa about 2 in the morning. I didn't want to go into the room and wake up my wife and disturb the dogs and all that, so I just grabbed a couple of pillows and threw myself on the couch here. It wasn't too bad. I got a little pain in my shoulder blade, right shoulder blade, from laying incorrectly. But I only laid down for a couple of hours, so that's why I just stayed out here. I stayed up until about 1. Just about 1, I finished my video time machine for tomorrow night. Yeah. I finished it and saved it out and got it saved out, and then I waited until it saved because I wanted to try to upload it, but I had already hit my limit of uploads. I thought I had saved one more upload, but I didn't. So, yeah. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. We better drink some of this coffee here. Oh, that is hot. That is hot stuff. It was hot. Hot patootie. Hot patootie. Whoa. I actually had a pretty good time last night putting together that time machine. It's over an hour. An hour and 10 minutes, 70 minutes long. I'm hoping with my checks I don't lose too much. I might lose one of the movie trailers that has a song on it. And that might give me a copyright. Unless the algorithm recognizes the video as a trailer. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, unfortunately, I laid down yesterday about noon, 1 o'clock, and I slept till 8:30. That was not my plan. My plan was to lay down for a couple of hours so I could get up and do my video time machine early. And that didn't happen. So I got up, procrastinated eating dinner until like 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then while I was doing that, I uploaded the rest of my content for the third week in January. And I think I've got some movies to upload along with this video time machine today, and a weekly program guide tomorrow. I will do uploads today and then continue them into tonight, hoping that I can just get ahead, because Saturday we're going to that event. I don't want to call it a concert. It's an event. So we'll see. I think we might take a trip down to Palm Springs. My wife's going to get her hair done today, and I think my daughter was going to get up and go with her. So we might just make it a day and go on down to Palm Springs. Try to find one of those stores where they sell old rickety people equipment, right? Canes and walkers and bedside toilets and that kind of stuff, and try to find a cane with a stool so that I can walk around and then sit whenever I want. Standing in line, that sucks. Walking into a line and then sitting down and getting up and walking and then sitting down, that's a lot easier. I'm not quite to the wheels yet. I specify the yet. Eeyore. One of my favorite mugs. Yeah. I am just whooped. It's, it's not too easy to get too excited about waking up in the morning when you barely went to sleep, right? I wasn't even unconscious, really. I know I dreamt, but I was also quite aware that I was on the couch all night long. Even while I was sleeping, I was aware I was on the couch. But it was a nice thing to do, right? I've been meaning to play a little Minecraft to catch up. My daughter's been too busy. She got way too much going on, Somebody's going to have to instruct me on how to transfer ownership of a Minecraft file, a Minecraft world. How do we transfer ownership to somebody else? I need my daughter to give me my Minecraft worlds from her game. Is that possible? Is it a thing? I know it's all going to be encoded to her, but can we do that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Have some weird dreams when you're barely sleeping. Mm-mm. Oh, yeah. Do my eyes look like Crypt Keeper? I look like I got black eyes on. I've been beat up by this world. So, speaking of beat up by this world, I've been watching this show, and it is on Netflix. And it's an anthropology show. Archaeology, rather. And it's, I don't recall the name of the guy who does the show. But he's exploring our history and looking for that lost advanced race that he believes lived on the planet and passed down a lot of knowledge to various various peoples around the world, right? The Toltecs, the Mayans, he believes that people with knowledge traveled the ocean, delivering this knowledge to different peoples all over the planet after a great cataclysm, which is why we've got the history that we have, and why we have these giant monolithic structures, and all of them geared towards the heavens, looking up at the sky. And he believes that they were all of these monolithic structures with writings that speak of the sky and stuff coming from the sky. It wasn't about aliens or God or anything. It was about asteroids and comets and shit, and causing these great cataclysms, right? So he really puts it in a great package. He really makes you think that, what if? And he's not talking about an advanced civilization that were more advanced than us now, just a more advanced civilization than what was back then, right? And yes, they could have had technologies that we do not have today, but it doesn't give credence one way or the other to them being more advanced or less advanced than us. So I don't know. I just thought it was I just finished it last night, 10 parts. And there's another series to this, so I want to check out the next one. But it was really cool. I think I mentioned before that had I stayed in school, I probably would have been torn between liberal arts and stuff like anthropology and archaeology and that kind of stuff, because I really love the study of man and past and history. And I mean, look, my whole channel is about time travel. Arr. Yeah, the human race. Wow. Were we the only race on this planet always? No, I don't think so. Are we the smartest race that's ever been on this planet? I don't think so. I think that those who came way, way, way before us possibly came from somewhere else and seeded this planet. That's possible. That's a distinct possibility. Because to think that we're the only ones in the universe, right? The only sentient beings, that would be arrogant. That would be stupid. That would be short-sighted. But yeah, the whole idea about an advanced race living on this planet before what we consider the dawn of man. Maybe the dawn of man was a reemergence, not the emergence of man, not the origins of man, but the reemergence of man after a great cataclysm, and few pockets of humanity were scattered throughout the world. And after things started to settle, peoples from the original intelligent races traveled the globe, seeding the technology back to people, right? There was also discussion of... Good morning, Joey. How are you doing? There was also discussion of the whole idea that every few thousand years we go back through this area in space where there's a lot of comet and asteroidal debris and big chunks of miles wide pieces of rock hurtling through space and stuff. And he believes that it's possible that at one point, again, the world went through this, and those things that came down and smashed into the planet heated up the big giant ice shelf in North America and instantly heated it up and melted it and created this giant deluge which flooded and caused these great canyons and whatnot, but also wiped out a lot of life and history on the planet. And I got to thinking about that asteroidal debris, those big chunks of rock floating up there, and I started thinking about the Kuiper Belt and the radiation belt and all of these things floating around, and the notion that has been hypothesized that there was another planet or great moon in our solar system that was destroyed, and that's the remnants that we see floating around in space. Those big giant fields of debris are left over from one of those great explosions, one of those great demolitions of a planet or a large moon, right? I even recall hearing tales of the possibilities of there being a second moon a long time ago. And I also recall hearing of the theory that at one time there was no moon around our planet, and our moon was moved here and is actually a vessel in itself, right? And is hollow and is occupied, right? Which does seem a little far-fetched, but at the same time, that radio show that we were listening to this morning, Universe, is exactly that. It's a large sphere that is an actual spaceship, and it's been hurtling through space for tens of thousands of years, right, with these people living on it, thinking that this is it. After so many, millennia of living on this ship, the ship is all. The ship is the universe. The ship is everything, right? And to think that there's anything outside the ship is heresy. But to think that a ship that size, miles across, a planet size, a moon-sized planet, that's possible, right? I mean, there's the idea that like a Dyson sphere is the idea that you've got a sun, and rather than have a planet that only has a limited amount of living surface on the planet, right? It's got to spin around, right? And so rather than just have that limited amount of space to live on, the idea was to build a sphere around a sun. And the sphere, on the inside of the sphere, would be like the outside of a planet. People would be living on the inside of this sphere facing the sun, and the gravitational pull would keep you to the floor of this giant sphere, right? That sounds kind of crazy too, but when you think about things that just have transpired in the last 100 years technologically, industrially, there's no telling where things could go, right? I'll be right back. I gotta check out a dog situation here. Okay, I got a big dog out here now. I don't know where the other little rat is. I know there's two with Natalie. The other one's probably still passed out with Mom. Totally. Go to your bed. You want to go back to bed? You want to go back to bed? Okay, I'll be right back. Yeah, I've had too little fucking sleep to deal with dogs this morning. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You know what? You can all just stay away. That's it. Just stay the fuck away from me. I can't deal with it this morning. I can barely keep my fucking eyes open during the day. And now I'm taking my naps at nighttime. When I should be sleeping 8 hours, I'm napping for an hour and a half. And when I should be napping for an hour and a half, I'm sleeping 8 fucking hours. It's fucking ridiculous. I guess my health ain't all that great. It just ain't all that great. What are you gonna do, huh? What the fuck you gonna do? Not a damn thing. Not a dibbity damn thing. So it is throwback. So did you say throw up? Yeah, it's Throw Up Thursday. So if you've been drinking last night, go ahead. Go throw up. No. No, I've been watching the, that 90s show, which has been fun. I stopped trying to wait for somebody to watch it with. And now I'm watching it with my wife. I watched the first couple of episodes by myself, and then I put on an episode or two with my wife in the room. And so now I kind of wait until she's in the room to put it on, so that, I don't know, I got somebody to laugh with, right? She's probably not watching too much of it or even laughing or caring, really. But, at least I ain't alone. At least I ain't alone. Yeah, that's an overstatement. Aren't we all alone? We're just alone. We're born alone, we live alone, we die alone. It's all in the brain. It's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. I just gotta clean this fucking thing out here. It has just been way too long. And, it's a lot easier to smoke my shit when I'm not smoking through all this crap here. So we'll see. We'll see how far I can get this cleaned out here. I need a lighter. Yeah. Off we go. There we go. Off we go. There. Totally. So what the hell's going on out there in the world? I mean, I got nothing. I got the same old shit, doing my fucking videos and fucking around at home, doing pretty much a whole lot of nothing. Right? Just a whole lot of nothing. 'Cause I'm old. I'm broken. What are you going to do with an old broken body? What you going to do when the well runs dry? Drink dirt? I don't know. I'm already there, man. The well she is a running dry. She's a running dry, man. It's just, oh jeez, I'm telling you. I gotta get this, I've got to get the metal cleaned out. Yeah. So let's see, I put a bunch of movies on yesterday. What did I put on? Well, I gotta keep track of them movies, man. Get, there you go. Hey, alright. We did it. We did it. I did it. Hey, did it. Hey, did it. There we go. That's beautiful. I get a little bit of goop off the end of this. Oh my God, it's flammable. Sheesh, what isn't? At this point, I'm probably flammable. You know, like them gassers, right? Yeah, baby. Oh man, my glass screen. My glass screen. It's a glass screen. Looks like a little daisy. Looks like a little glass daisy. It's really cute. I gotta get some more. I'm surprised this one has lasted me this long. Most of them usually don't last too long. This here was a good one. Totally. So there's this movie from 1983, and it's got hang out with a friend today. Is that the girl friend that lives down there? The female friend, the female companion? That's cool. Or not. I know you said you had a couple friends down there. All right. Any bait shops down there in Florida? Dope! Yeah, like 1 million. Totally. Place must smell like bait. Totally. Oh my God. So there's 1983. There's this movie with Cherie Curry. All right. Who was the lead singer for the Runaways, right? And it's got Robert Carradine and Cherie Curry. It's called Wavelength, 1983. It's a great, weird, low-budget sci-fi movie. Keenan Wynn, the old guy, Keenan Wynn, son of Ed Wynn, Fire Chief Gasoline guy from the old-time radio shows and old TV shows. Ed Wynn, actually Keenan Wynn, his son is in it. Keenan Wynn, you'll remember from, a whole lot of stuff. Let's see, The Great Race with Tony Curtis. He was Tony Curtis's sidekick, the bald-headed guy with the big mustache. That was Keenan Wynn. He's just played in 1 million movies, and he usually just plays an old guy, an old contractor, an old businessman, an old rich guy, an old eccentric. Wow, that's like 6 years you haven't seen that person. Well, that's cool. Right on. That's always cool to, like, reconnect. Gotta reconnect, Connecting is cool. Reconnecting is very cool, too. Totally. It's a totally different kind of head, A totally different head. Totally. Totally. That reminds me, I need to watch some more Square Pegs. Coffee. Okay, that big doofus dog wants in. I heard her bark. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Okay, I brought them both in and put them both back to bed with Mom. Let's hope they stay there for the duration. The duration. What we have here is a failure to communicate. Yep, that's usually it. Oh, yeah, man. I'm going to light me an incense because I just feel like getting incensed. Yeah. Yeah, that'll be cool, man. And I'll put it right here in the foreground. Put it in the foreground. Yeah. Into foreground. Foreground. The foreground. I'll put it in the foreground. There. Now we got a little bit of smoke popping up on occasion here. Looks like my coffee's hot. Wavelength. Great movie. Let me heat this up. And we'll talk a little bit about it. Now, you can find this movie on YouTube, I believe. Wavelength, one word. I'll be right back. Oh my god, I forgot to hit the right camera. I meant to hit this one. Instead I hit this one. That's a dead camera. Looked like I was faded to black. Fade to black, man. That's what happens when you die. You fade to black. Totally. What else are you gonna do? Live forever? What are you, a moron? Yeah. Yeah, I'm a moron. Because I can't learn a lesson. So I'm a moron. Because I can't learn a lesson. Get it? Get it? See what I did with the words there? I'm going to do this because this I know how to do. Of course, I didn't get good grades in this at school. But I got high marks after school. Ah, jeez. Guy thinks he's funny. It could be worse. Well, it could always be worse. Waiting to get struck by lightning. Yeah. Okay, so Wavelength, 1983, Robert Carradine, Cherie Curry. I'll probably talk about this movie in depth next year when I get into this whole new programming thing. This will be one of those movies. So the scenario is, quick synopsis, the government has had knowledge of alien life. They have captured alien ships. They have captured aliens in an underground base in Los Angeles, and a girl who happens upon mental powers all of a sudden hears these things talking to her and crying and speaking out, and with the help of Robert Carradine, they actually go and find these beings and try to help rescue them. And that's pretty much the size of it. And it's just a really bizarre movie, especially for 1983, and considering the cast. Robert Carradine, I think he's a writer or songwriter or something, but he does play guitar in this a little bit, and I think he does sing a little bit, which he does. It would have been nice if we had had a few years of the Carradine brothers out on tour doing, shows. That would have been neat, like the Bacon brothers, right? That would have been neat. Because like most Hollywood families, they're all really talented in more ways than just acting, right? But Cherie Currie, she's not all that great in the movie. She has to do a lot of that. Oh wait, I feel it. I totally feel it. I can sense it. Right? She does a lot of that stuff, which is pretty easy to do. Look, I could do it. Right? You believe me, right? I could totally feel it. Sure. So, yeah, she's really not that great an actress. In fact, I think that didn't she stop acting, stop music, stop acting, stop everything, got out of the limelight. I think she went and was like a school teacher or something for a while. She did the school marm thing. I just remember her just completely dropping off the face of the earth, and then all of a sudden coming back with the movie The Runaways, which was a Joan Jett thing, I believe. And so there was a slight reemergence of runaway talk right when that movie The Runaways came out. If you haven't seen that, go see that. It's a pretty good movie about that whole event with the Runaways, because they came out of nowhere. They were nothing, came out of nowhere. It turned out the band, which was formed by a guy who said, I need 4 broads to make a girl band, right? And he got these 4 broads together. Joan Jett was one of the girls. Cherie Currie, who we just saw and thought, wow, she'd be a good face. And Joan Jett, I think in the movie, it appears as though Joan Jett was the one who found Cherie Currie for the band. But there's a famous drummer girl in the band. Lita Ford is in the band as a guitar player, bass player or something. But it's a pretty good movie. The girls, they got to play the girls for the band. Dakota Fanning plays the lead. That one girl in the Twilight series, I don't remember her friggin' name. She plays Karen or Kristen Stewart. That's it, Kristen Stewart. She plays the Joan Jett part in it, and she does it really, really well. It's a pretty good movie. The opening scene is Dakota Fanning's character Cherie starting her period in the middle of the street. Right? It's just a bizarre. You could totally tell it was written by girls for a girls audience, and yeah, it's chicks rock. It's a great fucking girls rock movie. It's awesome. So yeah, two totally different movies. One about Cherie Currie, and then one starring Cherie Currie, and two totally different heads. Yeah. This week's theme has been Walmart shirts, pretty much. Yeah. I'm really happy once again with the way that the video time machine turned out. Turned out pretty darn good. If I have to go back and edit, there's one thing I need to fix, which is not a big deal. But if I have to go back and re-edit, I will, and I'll go back and fix this one thing, and then re-edit everything after that if I have to. So it'll take a little while. But that's probably first on the list this morning, is to get that VTM done. And, did he say vitamin? Yeah. And get it uploaded so I can get my checks done. As soon as I get my checks done, I'll know if I can then just start uploading the rest of the stuff for whatever week I'm working on. January 13th through the 17th is the week that I'm currently programming. And it's kind of weird to juggle the day that you're in, the week coming up, and then as far out, I'm like 5 weeks out right now, programming wise. So, 4 weeks. Yeah, 12th, 13th. Yeah, so I'm about 4 weeks out on the programming. As long as I can maintain that during the week and maintain my uploads and as much as I can over the weekend, I can do stuff over the weekend, work, and do stuff with my daughter, and we got to go to that concert. And I got all that I got to do to prepare for that. I may not be able to do as much as I had hoped. So, we'll see. We'll see. It's hard to get on the same schedule as my daughter, because she stays awake so late at night that when I'm getting up, she's going to bed. By the time she gets up later in the day, I'm wiped out. So maybe today we'll start that cycle to change a little bit, because like I said, I think she's going with Mom to do her hair. And if I can tag along, we'll just make it a day and go down into the Palm Springs area and see what we can dig up. I just need a nice, comfy, cozy little stool, maybe with a pad on it, that is lightweight and I can and is strong, so I can walk around with it as a cane, and then when we're just standing somewhere, I could sit down and give my back and my knees a break. Or, let my daughter sit there if she's tired. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this whole end of the month show we're going to. I've got to expect my daughter to throw surprise events and concerts and stuff at me, because that's the way she is. Something happens and she just like, I want to go to this, and it's like, okay, if you can afford to go to that and you want to drag me along as your ride, then so be it. So be it. And the things that she's talking about for this weekend are free events. You just have to sign up. So, yeah. This should be interesting. So she's signing both of us up for these things. So, if she's going to get to play tennis with one of these Fall Out Boy guys, and I'm her partner, then, what are we doing, mixed doubles? Do I get to play up against this guy too? I don't know. I don't know. So, I love it when she drags me out to do these things, because I'm not used to it, so I always procrastinate, and I always put up a fight, but then I always have a blast, and she always gets me out of my shell. So, so I'm first to go, I don't know, but most likely I'm shortly thereafter I come around and go, yeah, okay, I'm excited, let's do it. I can't help it. It's my daughter. She's really put in the effort, to deal with all the shit that she's got to deal with being a student her whole life. So, yeah. If that's what she wants to do to reward herself, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're gonna do it. Totally. Totally. Oh, man. Yeah, no Christmas tree yet, no Christmas decorations. I don't even know that we're going to get to it this year, really. We might not. You know, some years we're big on Christmas. Some years we're just like, forget it. Just never mind. There's just nothing. You know, it's just not happening this year. I'd like to dig up something, some kind of decoration. Something. And then I might bring my lava lamp. I might bring my lava lamp into this room here. Yeah. Maybe back there on that shelf where that head and hat are. That's the head that I use to put my hats on when they're wet, so they can dry out in the right shape. I don't have one of those fancy hat rack thingies. That's what I gotta do. Yeah. Hey, my lighter. Yeah. Yeah, before I pissed my sister off, for a while there, I was getting her in the mornings to show up, and we would look at old family photos and stuff. And then I happened to speak my mind and stood up for myself, and she was having none of it, and decided to give me the big fuck you. So that's what I get for thinking that I could trust family to hear me out and give me an actual chance like everybody else. But nope. I was as good as disowned by my sister because I spoke my mind and said, you know, you treat me like shit. You don't know me. You don't know who the fuck I am. Yet you're going to pretend like you didn't fuck me over the last time we talked. You know. No. You got to work your way back up to that, where it's not just, hey, buddy, buddy again. You don't just start on the same equal footing again. No, it's not like that. She was having none of that. How dare I remind her that she fucked me over? You know, it's like, hey, give me a break. So now I'm the bad guy again, right? You know, and the only reason she did that was so that she could make me the bad guy again, right? That's it, you know. She could have just said, you know, you're right. We need to talk more. We need to become better friends before we, you know, can claim to be more than that. And no, she just went, fuck you. So there you go. I had hoped that after hearing me out in a text, she would have understood where I was coming from. But she reacted emotionally. She just went, me, and freaked out. And she used that opportunity to once again make me the bad guy. And I don't claim that. I won't even take a piece of that because it's bullshit. It's her bullshit, you know. She's always pointing at somebody else, claiming that somebody else is the bad guy, you know, so that she doesn't have to be. And fuck that, you know. Fuck that. You know. A feeble fucking half-ass apology, blaming it on other fucking external stimuli which caused you to be a psycho fucking bitch from hell. Nah. So I guess this is a Throwback Thursday where we talk about family stuff. You know, I never wanted a family that hated me. I just wanted family, you know. And then it took me a long time to realize that the people that I spent my childhood with were just the people that I spent my childhood with. They weren't really my family, you know. I was just an add-on. Everybody else, those four were family. I was the oddball, the odd guy out. I wasn't really quite right. I didn't quite fit in, but they allowed me to stick around. Which is exactly why when I left the house at 15 and stayed gone for weeks and months, nobody came looking. Nobody gave a shit. They were just glad I was fucking gone, right? They're like, oh man, it's about time. What did we have to do to get rid of this guy? Well, just piss him off, then he'll leave. And I just got sick of being fucked over day in and day out at home. I got tired of the lessons I was being taught at home. Yeah. And after leaving home at 15 and realizing that it was much better elsewhere, I at that point I realized that I should have gotten out of the house at like 8 or 9, when about then is when I realized that this place was fucked, right? I should have gotten out then. I should have just dropped a dime and called the police and said my parents are drug dealers, right? And gotten me put into a foster home and got adopted. Because I realized when I was 15 that I would have been much better off had I had been in a place that my parents always said, you know, if they come and take you away, they're going to put you in a foster home and they're going to beat you and they're going to starve you and they're going to do all. And that was just bullshit that my parents would say to keep me from dropping the dime, basically. Because if there was anyone in the family who would do that, I'd be the one. Because I was the one with a fucking conscience, you know. And, yeah, looking back at, from 15 years old looking back, I should have dropped a fucking dime. I should have. I would have been much happier. I probably would have been healthier and happier mentally and emotionally. I probably would have gone to higher education, you know. I would have gotten help. Granted, I'd have probably spent a decade on Ritalin, but, you know, hey, I might have gotten some fucking help. But, what a horrible fucking disaster that first part of my life was. The first third of my life was just horrible enough to make the second third of my life miserable trying to escape that first third. Once I escaped that first third, I actually was able to find a life with this last third or more of my life, you know. And now that I'm 56 and I've been married 25 years, you know, it's like that first 2/3 has now become the first half, and that's pretty cool. Thanks to my wife and my daughter, I have had more good years than bad as an adult. I'm going to go check on some dogs. Be right back. Yeah, I don't blame anyone for my horrible childhood, you know. People are who they are. It is what it is. It happened the way it happened. I wasn't them. I did not make the decisions they made because of the situations they were in or the people who they were. So I don't hate anyone over any of this. I don't exactly like everyone who was involved, but I don't hate everyone. Hate is a strong word, right? But so is love. I mean, how much do I love those people from my childhood who I spent those years with? Family. It's hard to say family. And sometimes it's just hard to consider myself akin to people who treated me so shitty, right? And still do today, you know. And still do today. I get like this when it's like the holidays and I send messages and get nothing, you know. And all I want to do is just have a little hi, how are you, back and forth. And I get nothing. So once again, it is what it is. I'm not those people. I don't live their lives. I'm not in the situations they're in, living their experiences, you know. It's a bummer. It can make me a little bitter sometimes. It makes me think back to how it's always been like this, you know, second class family member. Not really, only, you know, relation by way of or geography, right? Because we spent so much time together. That makes us family. Where, you know, I'm just not seen as a part of the whole picture. I'm just a part of a little tiny piece from the past. And in some cases, the sooner I'm gone, the better it'll be for everybody else. And they can just move on without me, right? And that's the way it feels. You know, with my sister, it's like, hurry up and die already. You know, that's what I get from her. You aren't dead yet? You didn't die horribly? Well, if you do die horribly in miserable pain, be sure to take video because I want to see it. That's how she is. So I don't think I'll ever hear from her again. You know, I don't feel that way. You know, I like the her I used to know. I don't like this her. I like her family. I like her daughters, her husband. They probably hate me because, you know, of course, they've probably heard it for decades how horrible of a human I am. So whatever, you know, I can live with that. I can die with that. It is what it is. I had hoped that we could have moved past a bunch of issues that she's had, but those issues are still there. Still there. Now I gotta heat my coffee up really good. I'll be right back. Yeah. I will honestly say that I do believe that my sister watches the show live on occasion. And I do believe that she still watches the show live on occasion without telling me. If she comments, then I know she's there. But if she doesn't comment, she's just a number. So, and I think she knows that. And I think she can... I think she watches in reruns in the playlist. Because I don't think she can help but to spy and to see what I'm doing and what I'm talking about, you know. And that's kind of unfortunate that she can't just show up and say, hi, how's it going? Because I would be open to that, right? I don't hold grudges anymore for long periods of time, you know. I keep the wisdom of a grudge, but I don't keep the grudge, you know. I keep hold of that knowledge of why I should be holding a grudge. But it's like, hey, you know, that's on you, man. If I expressed myself and let you know how you fucked me over, then I'm done with it. I'm over it. You know, of course, we're not gonna have the same back and forth, right? That's just the way it is. You've ruined that. But I'm willing to work on whatever we have, right? Nah, that's not gonna happen. Your friends are up. What are you gonna do now? IHOP or Denny's? Yeah. I'm hoping that she goes to the reunion in August, if there is such an animal by then. Because before I spoke up and tried to talk to a family member honestly and openly, and she fucked me over again. That was the plan. She was going to help out. She was going to do stuff. We were going to get together and talk about it, just not at my house, And that's when I explained to her, hey, look, that's great and all, but look, we're not fucking friends, really. We're barely related. Don't act like there's nothing wrong. If you want to build on a relationship that we used to have, that's fine. But don't pretend like everything's peaches and fucking cream, because it ain't. And I ain't doing that anymore. I don't just fucking stash my emotions away and pretend like everything's okay, like she does, which is why she's in the fucked up trip that she's in. So, yeah. And it's unfortunate that she couldn't just go, yeah, you're right, let's build, peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly, 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 peanut butter jelly. That's my peanut butter jelly song. Totally. Peanut butter jelly. I miss not having a family. I miss having a family. That's what I miss having a family. That's what I meant to say. It's a bummer not having a family. But then again, I've never really had a family. I've always felt like odd man out, right? You look back at pictures of the family, and my sister is all dressed up and cute, and my brother is all, looking like a boy with his hair combed down straight, and I got just matted, nasty, ugly hair, wearing hand-me-down clothes. There was something to that. There was something to the look that I would get from my grandmother, my father's mother. The look that I would get from my mother. The same look, like, why did you have to do this? Why did you have to be here to mess all this up? Yep. And then I would get no peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly. I better plug this phone in or it's going to die. There we go. My monitor. There we go. Get my spine adjusted. Oh, that's going to take a while. Well, I think everybody's going to sleep in this morning because there's nothing going on. I think my wife just has a haircut. That's it. And I imagine that we'll probably wind up going down into Palm Springs and maybe even go to the mall. Right? I mean, it is Christmas time, and maybe they want to do some Christmas shopping. I've extracted myself from the whole Christmas buying thing. I don't get it right. I just don't. So I'm not going there anymore. And I'm hoping that it's not a big, like, everybody's throwing stuff at me, because I don't really want to, Slippers, pajamas, that kind of stuff, shirts, whatever stuff I can use, and I should probably do the same thing for them and just keep it simple and do foo-foo-y stuff like that, but I always try to pick out something really, really cool, and then I just screw it up.
I'm just no good at that.
You know what? I used to say, Joey's like, no way, I'm not going to the mall today. I used to feel the same way. And when you're young, it's okay, But, and when we do go to the mall, I spend a lot of time sitting by myself somewhere while they're in trying on clothes, right? That's just the way it happens. But there are moments, there are pockets of time that I wouldn't trade for anything in the world, especially at my age with my limited sand grains in the hourglass of my life. So I take what I can get, and if it means I gotta spend 6 hours in a car driving to Encino so I can watch my daughter play tennis with one of the Fall Out Boy guys, okay, I'll do that. It's gonna hurt, but it'll be well worth it. Totally. And the time in the car with my daughter is great. I'd rather just have that time at home, but it seems like most days we just don't have the right schedule. All right, I gotta go do a dog situation. I'll be right back. All right, one dog came out of my daughter's room, scratched on the door, had to come out, take a leak. So he's outside. It's a little whitey. It's always a dog situation. Dog people know. Dog people know. There's always a dog situation. Every day there's a dog situation. Yeah, I have multiple dog situations every morning, and then as soon as somebody wakes up, I wipe my hands of it. I wash my hands and feet of it. That's it. If you want to watch Michael Keaton, the original Batman, I Am Batman, from the 1980s. Michael Keaton, Mr. Mom. If you want to watch him in his first starring acting role, where is it? Here it is. Watch Night Shift. All right? Night Shift. It is Ron Howard's first directorial spot with a big budget movie. Henry Winkler is the main star, and then we've got Michael Keaton as his sidekick, and Shelley Long, a very young and beautiful and funny Shelley Long, the girl from Cheers. She was also in a movie called Caveman with Ringo Starr and Dennis Quaid. That's just an awesome fucking movie. In Night Shift, she does a great t-shirt and underwear scene that is just beautiful. She is such a beautiful, beautiful woman. And
yeah, I get quite aroused thinking about it. Oh my gosh,
she's pretty cool. Night Shift. Good stuff. Lowell Gans wrote this with Babaloo Mandel, and this is produced by Ron Howard's newly acquired friend, Brian Grazer, and they met and they formed this company right after this. This is a Brian Grazer production, a Ron Howard film. Right after this, they formed Imagine, and it was history, you know. They did Splash, Apollo 13, just a number of great movies throughout the 80s, 90s, and all up until the present. But Michael Keaton, in that first movie, he just is phenomenal. He is it's like watching a really young Robin Williams. He can't stop. He just cannot fucking stop. It's like he's wired. It's like he's on speed, you know. And it possibly he is, or possibly he's just doing a guy on speed and pretending to be a guy on speed. I don't know. He just does it really, really well. It's a great fucking movie, and it's a great vehicle for Michael Keaton. And Henry Winkler, Shelley Long. I mean, Shelley Long just has a lot of these parts. I got a dog situation. I'll be right back. I am the dog people. I don't give a rat's ass. No, I don't. I don't. Because if I had a rat's ass to give, I wouldn't give it. Because it's the rat's ass, not my ass, right? It belongs to the rat. I got nothing to do. I can't control a rat's ass, right? See, the rat is allowed to do with its ass what it wants.
you know. I could put it in a trap, but that's about all. Circus performing rats. Was watching a movie the other day, one of those low-budget crime movies from the 80s. Ooh, I blunk. And it was Irene Cara and Tatum O'Neal. And they're in court. Tatum O'Neal is a hooker. And Irene Cara is a medical student who happened to get busted by the police when somebody treated her bad and she stood up for herself, right? So anyway, there's a court shootout, and they run out of the court while everybody's shooting and stuff, and somehow are confused with the bad people, and they're after these two girls. Anyway, there's this scene where they're down in a sewer, and there's these rats everywhere, and they have to lay down in the rats and hide, and while the cops are going by. And at some point, I got the impression with Tatum O'Neal that she was used to rats, like she had had a pet rat or something growing up, or her brother did, or they had pet rats at some point, you know, because a lot of people have those big giant pet rats. I've known people with pet rats. I don't understand it, but there you are, because it's a nasty. But then I thought, a rat wrangler, right? Because these rats were all sitting in places up on pipes and on shelves, and you could just see in between scenes, in between takes, the rat handler coming in and placing rats in places, and placing the rats on the girls, and placing rats just everywhere, right? And the rats would just kind of hang out and wait for their cue to do their rat stuff, you know, and they would get up, and the girls are getting up, moving around, brushing rats off and stuff, and the rats are just like doing nothing, like, you know, we live with a guy, this is nothing. And then I thought, what kind of guy is the rat guy? And how many rats does he have living around him all the time to get a certain amount of rats used to being around people? You have to put them around people. And so I took a mental trip into the rat guy's home where he has all these rats living with him, and how that must be. Step into my mind. Yeah. Because I can't just watch a movie and enjoy a movie. I have to actually think these stupid things, you know, and my mind goes these places. But yeah, I do not recall that movie. I know I put the trailer to that movie on one of my video time machines, so that when it came on, I thought, ooh, we got to watch that. And then I put it on and watched it. And my wife watched it, and she's like, oh, this is horrible. But she watched the whole thing, because it was like a chick movie. It's a couple of chicks having to be tough together, you know. And it was pretty good. I mean, Tatum O'Neal, geez. She won an Academy Award when she was just a little girl. Wow. Wow. Wowzers. God, I gotta go there again. I'm up again. I'm gonna get a coffee warmer plate, or a hot cup, or a microwave right fucking here. I don't know, something. This is crazy. I'll be right back. was. Oh, man, I wanted to do so much yesterday once again. And all I could do was just crawl into bed in the middle of the frickin' day. Boy, that sucked. That completely sucked. Yeah, I would like to go to the mall today. It would get me prepared to go out again on Saturday, you know, kind of get me geared up to go out and do something. Especially since the fact that I need to go out and get a cane to sit on. Yeah. Oh, shit. No, Mom's not waking up today. Stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. Hot. Hot stuff. Hot stuff. Yeah, let's see. Last night's video time machine that I put together for Friday night. It's great. I found this really unusual music video of these two guys doing a music comedy routine. It's really weird. Stan and somebody. And then some cool old commercials, of course. And then I found one of those educational films that's about 10 minutes long. And it involves aliens coming to planet Earth and discovering life, right? So they get to explore the different aspects of human life, or the different aspects of animal life on the planet, because it's like part of a series. I'll have to try to find some more of that, because that was really unusual. And then I did a bunch of movie trailers, more commercials, and then some movie trailers. And then, what else did I get? My list of the stuff on the show. I did a segment from 60 Minutes, which may or may not get yanked. But it has to do with the swine flu epidemic of 1976 or 75 or something back then. I try not to pay too much attention to this stuff because I want to go back and watch it and enjoy it myself. So I'll do a bunch of episodes, upload them, and then go back and then watch a bunch of episodes and actually be entertained. Because I got a really horrible memory. So I'll be like, hey, who made this? This is really cool. Where did this show come from? And then a music video of the 5 Locust Sisters. And it was weird because for the first half, there's like only 4 girls. And I'm thinking, all right, is one of them a ventriloquist? Or do they sing together to create a new octave? I don't know. And then halfway through, there's a girl on the piano. The 5th girl was on the piano. Another great Felix the Cat cartoon. And then a special ending. And it's, some Australian commercials. I found some Australian commercials. That's cool. And some great, 5 movie trailers from the 80s there. From the 80s there. Really cool stuff. I mean, I can't wait to go back and watch it all. It'll be fun. Yeah, I wish I had given it. I'm so tired at the end of the night working on these things. I wish I had given it the once over again and checked to find that one little tiny flaw. Not a big deal, but it would have been nice to have caught it and made a perfect show. So if I got to go back, then I'll fix that. Yeah. I can actually hear what sounds like broken glass coming from my neck region here. Ooh. And then also there's like big, like the popping of knuckles, and just like it's what feels like, sounds like in your head, like boulders shifting, right? Broken glass and boulders and avalanche type sounds. It's fucking bizarre. Which is another reason probably why I find it difficult to try to relax and sleep in the quiet, because when it's dead quiet, I hear my body and it keeps me awake. It literally, my body, the sound of my body keeps me awake, especially the sound of my neck reverberating through my head. It's horrible. It's horrible. The best days are when I don't have to move at all, and I can just, this is about the most I move my head, right? That right there, I can hear my neck. If I have to drive anywhere, the movement of the driving can be really wearing on me physically, and then emotionally, because you just get so frustrated with it hurting all the time. It just sucks. So I will usually avoid at all costs going out, even if it's something little. So most days I won't even walk outside. I won't. If I don't have to go out anywhere, I won't even walk outside. I won't even go into the backyard. I won't even go out and into the laundry room outside. I just won't even go there. Like, nope, I'm just staying inside. If I put my pants on to leave and get out of my pajamas, I might actually have to do something. So no, I'm not going to go there. Yeah, it's a part of my pain management is to just avoid things that cause pain, right? And since most everything does, I just try to avoid a lot of movement. My knees and lower back make it really difficult to walk. So I don't walk so much. I don't do a lot of wallicking. At least, if I can avoid it. Which, of course, means that when I do have to do a lot of walking, I pay for it. My knees and ankles and back give out. Or at the very least, I wake up in the middle of the night afterward in horrible cramps. Right? Yeah. Which means whatever we do on Saturday, I've got to come home and be ready to deal with cramps in the middle of the night after that. I don't know how late we're supposed to be out on Saturday. It's supposed to be a daytime thing, I think. It'll probably be a daytime evening thing. It'll turn out to be an all-day night thing, right? So, yeah. 2 days away, I gotta get a stool cane. That's it. I mean, I can't even wake up fully without wanting to just eat a bunch of pain pills and go back to sleep. But I haven't eaten pain pills in like 10 years. So I smoke a little dope and then it's like, oh fuck, I just want to go back to sleep. It hurts too much to be awake. And that sucks. There's too much I want to do. So my plan is to make a schedule on a calendar, daily, weekly, monthly, for the next 8 months, working up to the reunion, and try to give myself something to do every day in order to get to where I need to be then, with the channel, with my shows, with the reunion, with the shirts, with the budget, with all of the stuff that's involved. Have it all planned out so that when I get to there, everything is taken care of. However the budget winds up. The t-shirts will be, I'll just have a t-shirt day. Here's my t-shirt day. If there's nothing scheduled on the t-shirt day, then I just extend whatever I'm working on into that day. And just hope, fingers crossed, that this, that this works and we get the budget that we need to put on the kind of event that we want to put on, or at least the one that I envision, and it's big, but it's not too big, It's small, but it's not too small, If we can keep it to 100 or 2 people, one or 200 people, that would be perfect. We could hold that in a moderately sized, 3 or 4 bedroom vacation rental home with a lot of outside room. Figuring that it's going to be the middle of summer, it should be warm enough to do a lot of stuff outside. There you go. But scheduling is going to be the key factor in this. And all I can do is just keep doing my part, If I can get enough people on board with shirts, then it will snowball. And then just keep getting, more and more shirts. So after the first of the year, I'm going to really get into making some kind of promotional advertisement for the reunion. Here's how you can help and donate. Contact me directly. You want to donate your time, materials, and money? Call me. We have shirts. Lots of shirts, and they just show a bunch of shirts. Yeah, once again, I don't want to think too much about it. I want to let it happen organically, and I want to let it happen by way of people wanting it to happen. If they want it to happen, it's going to happen, right? If they don't want it to happen, I'm going to see that, and it's not really going to happen. So the more I see the involvement, the better chance it's going to have to happen. Totally. Oh my God. Totally. So, I guess if we're going to going to go to out somewhere today, that means I'm going to have to actually put on pants, take a shower, get cleaned up, brush my face. Because it's looking pretty scraggly. And then there you go. This is Thursday, 12/12/2024. December 12th. This would be my parents' wedding anniversary. If they were still married and still alive, this would be their wedding anniversary, the 12th of December. I don't remember their birthdays. to be honest. But then again, I never did. And I feel like the only reason they remembered mine was because it was on my brother's birthday. But I just never remembered. I was never good with remembering stuff that was never made out to be a big deal, right? They never made it out to be a big deal. They never said, hey, it's my birthday, celebrate. You know? So, there you go. And not having much fanfare over my own birthday growing up, I just never really got into it. As much as I, always wanted, like, a party and a lot of fun and, gifts and hoopla and people going, gosh, isn't this great? You're awesome. I just resigned to the fact that that wasn't for a guy like me. It was for other people, those very charismatic people that everybody wants to buy stuff for and pat on the back and tell them how cool they are. And it was probably in my 20s when I realized, it's not me. That's never going to happen. And then I think that's when I threw my own party and just invited like a half dozen friends. And we just had barbecue and beer and, and hung out and played music. And then I realized that that's about all I'm capable of on my birthday, is just hanging out with some friends at the most. Anything more than that, and it's going to feel contrived, I don't really care to celebrate getting older, right? Look, I'm older. Another gray hair. I'm balder. Look, I'm more wrinkled. Look, I'm hunched over now, At that point, it's like a matter of survival. I've survived this many. It's like, give me a break. I honestly feel like celebrating birthdays is for little kids. Really, that's what I see. I see just like Sunday school, that kind of stuff. It's for little kids, and it's to teach kids about aging and the passage of time and that kind of stuff. But I mean, once you get past that, it's like, what's the point? People are in their 20s and people are still mom's still giving them a birthday party every year and and making a big deal, and we got a clown this year, honey. Mom, I'm 33. Yeah, it does get a little out of control. Yeah. You're getting ready to take a shower. Wow, man. There's no way you're getting ready to take a shower? Well, I'm going to have to take a shower in an hour. A shower in an hour. As I feel, man, as weird as I feel, I might just stay in there for an hour. No way. No way. No way. Yeah. An hour-long shower in an hour. I could do that. I could totally do that. Yeah. I think what I will do instead is take a quick shower and get back out here and find out, hopefully, if my that upload to YouTube with the video time machine, if I can do it this morning, it should take about an hour and a half to 2 hours, because it's like 10 gigabytes and it's like 70 minutes long, so it'll probably take a while. So I've probably got plenty of time to start that upload and then go take a shower, if I'm allowed to upload anything else this morning. Because I tried to upload it at like 1 or 2 this morning, and it was a no-go. But by 8:30, it might be ready to go. As soon as I cut off here, I'm going to restart this computer and then do that. So, fingers crossed. But I'm definitely going to take a shower. I am going to get way showered and get ready to go out just in case I can hijack these girls' trip to the hair place and go on down into the valley. I don't think we're going to have time or money for any shopping, but I know I don't control the budget. I don't even think about money, really. I let my wife deal with all of that. My wife and daughter are controlling all of the money in the family, which is the way I like it. I just siphon off a little bit every week for some pot. That's it. That's all. I go to work when they tell me to go to work. I drive when I'm told to drive. I go to the store when I'm told to go to the store. I fix things when I'm told to fix things. But I don't want to control the bills or the money or any of that anymore. I can't. It's for some people they're capable of processing that kind of stuff without putting emotion into it. I get wrapped up in all of it, and it's too much for me. So I try not to go there. I'm here for advice and for help and for helping with the actual income and, of course, the spending. But I try not to do any of the hardcore spending. I just stay away from it. Better for me, better for them, better for the family. Yeah. Yeah. I've never been one for dealing with money properly. Never. I've never been able to handle money. It handles me. Quite often when I'm in charge of any amount of money, I will make the wrong decision. Thinking that I'm making the right decision, and I'm just not. I don't even want to be responsible for buying another car. It's like, find somebody who knows about cars and take them. Don't take me to get a car. Don't take me to buy a car. Yeah, I was a mechanic. Yeah, I know a lot about cars. Yeah, but I don't want to be the guy that has you bring home a lemon. Because every car that I've bought has been a lemon. No matter how good a deal it looks to me, I always wind up humping the bunk. So, no. When it comes to large purchases, I will give you my input, but that's it. I will not make a decision. And sometimes I don't even want to do the input. It's like, no, don't even ask. Go to somebody else for the input. Because if I give input, it's going to sway their decision, and I don't want to be responsible for even that. No. If there's something that needs to be taken care of responsibly, I will voice my opinion and say, you know what, this needs to be taken care of responsibly. But, no. I can't be responsible for being responsible. I'm just irresponsible. I have no response to that. Oh, no. Oh, man. Oh, man. Well, this is the last hour, and I need a shower. I think that's gonna put me right. That and some food. I don't know what to eat. Last night we had those big, giant butterfly shrimp, the shrimp that are, you know, cut open and then tempura fried. That and white rice, and then what they call an Asian vegetable medley. And that was good. That was, of course, I ate it at like 9:30 at night. The rice was still hot in the cooker, and I made my shrimp to order. So I had a hot meal. It was just late, and I was kind of like, eh. I would have been better with like a bowl of stew or something and a big piece of bread, you know. No way. Yeah. Video time machine 1213. That is the one. Gonna do that. Load it up. I need to take a magic eraser to my tennis shoes. Totally. Yeah. Did I do that? No, really. I did do that. I'm going to have to put together a Christmas video of music and stuff. You know, just kind of like a music video. A bunch of Christmas music, elevator music, Kmart music, right? Take a bunch of that Kmart music, that's holiday music, splice it all together, and put some kind of video to it. And air that on Christmas during the day, somewhere in there. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do for Christmas Day. Thanksgiving Day, man, I put a lot of stuff into that day. So I'm going to try my best to do the same thing for Christmas, to get a lot of stuff going on that day. You never know. I'll see what I can see. I've been gathering some stuff. It's not going to necessarily be Christmassy, but it will be winter related or Native American or, you know, religious, something to do with Christianity. You never know. We'll see. You know, a lot of people think that I'm against a lot of stuff because I voice my opinion about things, but I'm not, you know. The one thing I'm not for is ignorance. That's about it. Stupidity. Going into something without any knowledge of what you're going into. You know, so that being said, you know, I'm not really against anything, you know, to each his own. Everybody's got to have something. But, you know, use your head. Investigate. Find out what you're following, you know. You might as well be following a cult if you don't know what you're following, if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing. You know, it can't just be because, you know, well, Mom told me I had to. You know, we've always done this. That's no reason to do it. You know, because you've always it's always been a part of your family. That's no reason to continue doing it. And a lot of people just run screaming from their families because they can't understand why they keep doing these things. That's just a part of their family, right? Because there's never been any real explanation, you know, and no investigation to find out if these things should be done. Should you have these things in your family, you know? And if so, why? I gotta heat up my coffee. Be right back. No, really. I'll be right back. I'm just going right over here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Ow. No, really. Just let it fucking snow, man. That's what them cocaine people are saying. They're like, yeah, man, let it snow, dude. I want some cocaine. I want some cocaine. You got any cocaine? I want some cocaine. Bunch of cocaine heads. Totally. Hey, you know, you do what you do, you know. But I can't stand no tweakers. I can't do no tweakers. Junkies and tweakers and that kind of them trank heads, you know, the bent people. Jeez, you know. Let's shuffle them off someplace and get them some help, or get them hooked up so they can just continue on with their journey, you know. But geez, get them off the streets, you know. Aren't we better than that? Aren't we better than that as a people than to just let this go on in the streets, right? You know, round them up, take care of them, give them a fucking purpose. But no. You know, ridicule them, label them, marginalize them. Yep. Society doesn't want that. Society wants portions of itself to look down on. That's the way I see it. You know, society needs that. The good society needs bad society. Otherwise, there's no society. There's no good society. It's just society, right? So, you know, in order to have good, you gotta have bad, and that's a crock of shit. You know. The difference between a wealthy person and a philanthropist, you know, is somebody who's willing to go out and just give their money away to help, as opposed to somebody who ain't going to do that. They're just going to keep hoarding it and pass it on from generation to generation. Well, it appears to be light outside, and I'm hearing some kind of vehicle warming up out there horribly. I don't get about much, and I got all of my curtains drawn, so I had no idea that the light was up already. I don't pay attention to that kind of shit. You know, when you're a guy like me and you don't even want to leave the house, why bother looking out the windows? It could be day or night, or a fucking asteroid storm, you know, and or meteorites or whatever the fuck comes down, you know. Ow. My neck. My neck. Anyways, I think it's going to be a good day. I don't see my health improving. I used to think, well, I'll just do this and I'll do that and I'll start feeling better. It ain't working that way. So I'm just kind of, at this point, trying to get as much as I can out of what I got left and trying to extend that as long as I can. That's it. That's all I feel like I'm doing at this point. You know, whether I got months or years or whatever, that's all I figure I'm doing at this point. The way my spine is jacked up, it doesn't really work to do any muscle building because the signals are all fucked up. So, I mean, I lost a lot of muscle mass when I first got injured. And then after that, through physical therapy, we realized that I wasn't going to be putting any of that back on. And that I was, that it wasn't looking too good, right? So, I stayed working for quite a while until my body just said, man, you ain't got enough muscle to support the activities that you're doing with this fucking skeleton frame of yours. It just ain't working. You can't do that with this. You can't get there from here, man. So, I had to give up a lot of physical activity. And now I still want to do a lot of physical activity, but I can barely fucking move some days, and then most days I haven't got the energy, you know. You know, 55 years of insomnia has really taken its toll this last year. Really. Yep. I had a lot of plans. A lot of plans. Just remember that if I've tried to get in touch with you in the last couple of years and plan something, some kind of get-together, it's been out of survival, right? Trying to hold on to little bits of memories and friendships and stuff. So most of those people I never had a chance to hook up with. Unfortunately. I'm still looking forward to this reunion thing as if I'm going to make it. Right? So we'll see. We shall see. It's, I mean, I honestly, I feel like at any moment I could wake up in the hospital, just out of the blue, just wake up in the hospital and ask, what am I doing here? Who brought me here? Why am I in the hospital? Right? Because things will have gotten so bad that it will, all of a sudden, something will happen to keep me from knowing what the fuck's going on. That's kind of spooky. You know, but just being in the hospital alone is fucking scary enough to me. It just feels so cold and so impersonal. And nowadays, especially, with so many entitled Karens who just want to go out and get on their phone or smoke a cigarette or drink a soda or whatever, you know, and you're in the healthcare industry, and you're surrounded by so many unhealthy people, which is what I've found the last several times that I had to go to the doctor, go to the hospital, do tests and all that shit, is that all of these people that were supposed to be helping me looked like they were destroying their own lives, right? Which is why I first stopped smoking cigarettes, because all of a sudden I was forced to be around doctors and nurses all the time, and they all smelled like cigarettes, and it was weird. So I thought, you know what, if I'm gonna, and they were prescribing me pills, cigarettes and pills, and that's all I thought when I went to the doctors, was they smell like cigarettes, and they handed me pills. And the girls always had these big soda pops, these big giant thermal mugs, just, you know, sucking down Cokes all day. And they were usually unhealthy looking, I'll just leave it at that. And, yeah, I thought, okay, well, if I'm going to smoke, I'm going to smoke marijuana, and then I'll cut out the cigarettes and the pills, and I'll just smoke pot and deal with that'll take care of both, right? And, I've been happier ever since. But it hasn't stopped me from dying. Yeah. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Not much. Not much. So yeah, that's a scary thought, to think that at some point I'll just wake up at some point not knowing why I was asleep, and then wonder why I'm in the hospital. Why am I here? Why are things hooked up to me? Why do I hurt? You know? Well, things got bad. Things went south. My sister's like, yes, swish. I just call it as I see it, you know. I just call it as I see it. There's still something out there making a weird whiny hum. Bugging the shit out of me. It sounds like the inside of my brain. Yeah, I guess I'll get a shower, get cleaned up, run a brush through my face. I'm gonna pass on using the scissors on my face again. I mean, sometimes every once in a great while, like twice a year, I'll pick up the scissors and I'll trim things up and get all Grizzly Adams looking. But usually I just look like a hobo. It's my defense mechanism against the world. Most people won't talk to a hobo. So if I can walk around looking like a hobo, dressing like a hobo, and talking to myself like a hobo, people usually leave me alone. And that's all right with me. Right? Even when I'm out with family, out with my daughter, out with my wife, I don't change. This is who I am, right? And I'm perfectly okay with that. I used to not be. I used to not know who the fuck I was and who I should be okay with. And then I realized that I kept trying to put on airs and be somebody that everybody else wanted me to fucking be, and I just got sick of that. You know? I am who I am, and not knowing who the fuck I am is who I am. You know? If you can't handle that, get over it. Worry about yourself. That's it. If you're worried so much about how I look and how I think and act and feel and dress, then there's something seriously wrong with you. Right? If you're so wrapped up in anything about me, there's something seriously wrong with you. You know, you should just be completely worried about yourself only, and only worried about others as far as you can be helpful. That's it. And if you can't be, then shut the fuck up and worry about yourself. You know? There you go. But we get both. We get people who are just selfish and concerned on how to control others and what others do. You know? Oy. That's just a... I keep looking over my shoulder thinking there's something on TV because of that hum. That you can't hear on the microphone, but it's there. Oh, it's there. And it's making me so crazy. I am going to have to load this thing for today. So I'll have to dump some more of this shit on there. Yep. Because I got to have that when I'm out there. Because once I get to the mall, I got to go through pain management in order to be able to be at the mall. And then wander around the mall for a couple of hours. And all that implies. And so I'll do that. Let the little woman drive home. And I can just wander around the mall, getting high here and there, right? I'm going to walk outside, honey. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And sneak a couple of hits in here and there. Go browse through the bookstore, look at records, look at... Ooh, I know. I'll see if I can find my copy of Being Henry, the Henry Winkler autobiography. That'll be fun. I don't know. I don't really have any reason to go down there other than try to get some kind of cane stool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting pretty excited about this video time machine. I hope it all passes muster. I really does. I really does. I does hope. Because it's a really good one. And I never know what is going to get caught. I never do. So, I've figured out how to leave the upload, finally leave the upload as a draft and not post it. Because as soon as I do and it's got a bummer with it, then I'm bummed. But I leave it as a draft until I'm sure that I can deal with it. Sometimes I'll leave it as a draft and then delete it. If it looks like I can just X out something there on YouTube with their program and handle it that way, then I'll just leave it and do it that way. You know, it's that song, it's that music. Then I'll use the YouTube program to just get rid of the music and leave everything else. And they can do that. They have the technology. So, if it's just something short, then I'll do that. If it's a whole section of music and video, that's kind of a bummer to deal with perfectly on the YouTube program, because I can't really get in tight with the editing. At least I haven't been able to. So we shall see. We shall see. No, really. Unless you can't, then you won't. So let's see. Last night I watched. Oh, I hear dogs. I'll be back. Big dog is drinking. She's just going to finish off that bowl of water. And now what? It's gone. You drank it. Yes. There's more water in the car. I haven't gotten it out yet. Come on. Go to your bed. Go to your bed. Good girl. Go to your bed. Go to your bed. Oi. I guess I'm not done getting up. All right. Honestly, I think she's going to be out there for the duration of the show because I ain't getting up again. If she barks, she'll have to bark. Yeah. There's just no way. There's just absolutely no way. So if I can remember, tomorrow morning we are going to look at more of the first season of Mornings with Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy. We looked at episodes 1, 2, and 3. I didn't say a damn thing. I just walked around muttering to myself and reading and getting high and drinking coffee or tea. And I'm listening to music and doing, what I would normally do in the morning, which is where I think I was going. And I remember wanting it to be a slow burn getting started. And it worked. I didn't realize I thought I was like the first day was quiet, and then I started talking. I didn't realize I went a whole 3 days without saying anything, without addressing the camera, without saying, hey, how's it going, people? So that's kind of weird. Yeah. And then, I don't know at which point I switched back to coffee, but at some point I did. Yeah. All right, let's see. I think I've got this ready to roll. Rolla. Ready to rolla. Rocka-rolla. I'm going to place this here so that when I'm filling up my little woody, we call this a woody, this little bat box, I call it a woody. It's got some rock stone work on the front here, stone and metal inlay. I bought this bat box in 2000, right about the time I got married. So this thing is about as old as my marriage here. This bat, this one hitter here, is a couple of years younger than this bat box. I replaced the original one, was one that looked like a cigarette, and it was just unusual. It didn't work right. It was the inner tube was too narrow, and it would get clogged a lot, and it was just, for some reason, it didn't work right. And then I found another one and just wound up replacing it. This one also looked like a cigarette, was painted to look like a cigarette, but a piece flaked off, and I decided to get rid of all of the paint because I didn't want it flaking off into my dubage here. So I got rid of it. But I've had this one ever since. So this one I've had for, 15, 18 years. No, I'm sorry. 22 years, something like that. Because I've been married just about 25 years. Oh, man. My anniversary is on the 17th of December, so it is rapidly approaching anniversary day, and that will mean 25 years of marriage. A quarter of a century. What anniversary is that? Silver anniversary? Silver, gold, something? There's like different metals for different years of your anniversary, right? I don't know what those are. You used to be able to find them in like the back of a dictionary or something, an encyclopedic dictionary. You could find the presidents and the different every year for an anniversary, paper, wood, metal, tin, all these different things that you're supposed to give on a specific day, which is really weird traditional crap that I was just never into. My wife was lucky to get a diamond out of me, right? I'm just not a traditionalist in that sense. I'm old-fashioned, but not old-fashioned traditions, right? Never had them growing up, never saw the need for them living my life, for all of these weird things that you have to do because they've always done them, no. That, to me, that's not what it means to be human. That's what it means to be the member of a society of humans. But we take away from being a human when we wrap ourselves up in all of these weird traditions and rituals and yeah, it just gets weird. Oh my God, did he say weird like 80 times? I sure did, baby. I most certainly did. Oh, now I'm down to using this. Yeah. All right, fingers crossed for that video time machine, that it's going to upload and it's not going to have too much of a wobbly. It's hard to find old 1920s and 30s music on video with the actual talent doing it. And it's even better when I can find someone who's completely obscure that you don't know who it is, because then there's a better chance there's not going to be any copyright on it, most of this shit is public domain. And embedding it into a video time machine episode is a good way to keep people from coming along later and saying, hey, I want to make a